Hello everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be going through a bunch of coins. I'm actually at the Heritage Auctions headquarters in Texas and have a little bit of time after work, so wanted to show you some really cool coins. I've been working with a few of these, and handled them before they went off to grading, so we're going to be getting some results back, though for the most part I don't really know sort of what circumstances these coins came in, but there's a few that have some flips and some, have been cracked out, or they came with the flip and were raw. A lot of different circumstances there, but super excited to show you these coins, give my input, and we'll see if my boss watches this. He'll probably see me grade a lot of coins poorly, so excited to jump in, and we'll start with this. Actually, we'll probably do it this way because I took a quick look at the coins. They get smaller, so theoretically I should probably be starting with the dimes, but we'll do some grading practice, and the thing is, I'm not good enough at grading to really tell you how I'm viewing these things, but the obverse is going to be a lot more important than the reverse. We see a little bit of a nick there, but there's nice luster on this coin. Going to cover up the top, and we've got here a pretty clean cheek on Liberty. And I'm trying to think how I'd grade this. I feel like there's not a ton of chatter in front of the face either. So 1935S is also a better coin, especially in mint state. I would probably call this like a mint state 64, I would say. Somewhere in that range. And it's going to be a mint state 63. So not too far off, about a point off. And that's often where I am on these coins. But again, I don't know the circumstances with these as much, but excited to keep on going through. This one is a Morgan here, really clean reverse, and then we'll flip it over because I do most of my grading by looking on the front of the coin personally, and this one is really clean as well. If you can tell, like in the front of the face, it's like really, really clean, maybe a tiny bit, but that's more of like a grazing, not even a big hit. Cheek is also super clean, and then we, I don't know, I mean, looking at the rest of the coin, struck really well, nice luster. I would probably call this like a 65 with potential for 66, but I would probably go 65, and it's going to be 66. Okay, so a little bit off, and I should probably zoom in a little bit more so that you can see more of the coin, and I'll try to do that better going forward, but that's a very nice coin. I'm trying to remember if it's a better date 97. I feel like it could be, at least. Then next up we have this Walking Liberty $50. Let's see if there's a mint mark. Kind of looks like an S there, but like it's also been impeded on, or maybe that's just like a little imperfection in the planchet. But we've got 1920 here, and it looks pretty nice. Trying to think how to put it. I feel like it's probably got either going to be a 55 or a 58, and I would be inclined to call this like a 58. I mean, really good looking coin in terms of eye appeal, but it does seem like it's a little bit worn, just like along the, luster is still there, but a little bit of wear sort of all up along the leg and the center part of Liberty. So I'd call this a 58, and it's going to be a 58. Awesome. So really a lot of the 58s, I think you can also collect those over 63s, because the 58s often are just like a 63 with a little bit of wear, whereas like a mint state 61 coin, it's probably really beaten up and really choppy, but just doesn't have the wear. And that's also one thing I have to say is, like, sometimes I'll miss wear, or I'll think that low mint state coin is worn, especially on Walking Liberty. So that's something I'm trying to get better at. Like here, I'm immediately going to call this one mint state, and you can see the difference there, like in the top of the, well, I don't need to cover this grade up, but the sort of the threading or whatever you'd call that on her dress, and just the overall strike, here, that's not worn to me, but there's still some like hits over there. This is probably like 63 or 64, but again, what do I know? I'm going to make, and it's an S mint coin, 33S. I would probably call this like a mint state 64, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's lower. And it's an AU coin, so really good example of me totally being wrong. Well, that's kind of embarrassing, but again, I'm gonna let this, sort of ride, because I was just talking about how sometimes I miss the wear, and I totally did here. So maybe it is just a little bit like, I guess on the tops. I think also, if I was defending myself, I could say, but I think 20's probably struck up a little bit weaker as well. I definitely missed the wear on this coin. So, well, there you have it. Important lesson, and like in my mind, I'm obviously like, oh no, like hopefully nobody sees that, but I have 100,000 subscribers, so some people are going to see that and then try to start selling me raw slider. Walker slider is a term like sort of on that in between. Here, another one, 1917. Again, this one I would definitely call worn, but pretty attractive. There's like a few, like, I don't know if it's hairlines or like little things going on the surface, but I would probably call this like a 55. I think there's a little more wear than it on the previous one. And it's going to be AU 50. So again, well under what I had, but maybe I should take a look a little further back. But okay, another big grading miss, but I have a lot of fun doing these videos, and the other thing is, I'm showing you this so that you can learn, but I'm learning a ton myself as I go along. And this one looks like another one where I'm going to have a tough time dealing with it. 1895-0, that's definitely a nicer date. Or I'm almost positive, and I don't think it would be graded if it wasn't a nicer date. I still have to get all of my knowledge, but the 1895S or 1895, like that date for Morgan's is really tough, and I would assume a similar situation here. We can see like almost all of Liberty is still intact, no luster, so it's probably not going to be an XF coin. I would probably say, like, to me, probably like low to mid VF, because probably like maybe VF 25 is what I would say, and it's going to be VF 20. But still, finding even VF barber coins is not really, really easy. A lot of them come either very worn or they were saved, but a lot of this mid-level wear is not too commonly seen. So, cool coin there. And then let's see. Next up, we've got an O-mint with a little bit of toning, a little bit of luster still attached. 1894-0. I can't tell if there was like a light cleaning or something that would make this a details coin, but it also could be like acceptable because the luster being there, but also well worn, probably going to be 40 or 45. Maybe with the toning, it gets bumped to 45. That's what I would call it, a 45, but definitely could see 40, and it's going to be a 40. So technically I was wrong, but got at least the right XF designation. Then after that, let's see what this is. Nice S, and also sort of checking for luster. I see some personally. 1904S. This coin, let's compare it to the last one, because over here on a 40 you see more wear than I think. Even though this coin on the right is darker, you see a little bit more wear, in terms of the detail coming in way nicer on this side. So I'm probably going with AU on this, but on barber coins, again, it's the same thing with the $50 that I just called mint state, that ended up being AU. It could really be anywhere, but I feel like I see where I would call this like a 53, and so it's going to be a 50. So yeah, AU 50. I mean, again, one grade off, feeling okay with that, but it's often about luster, but also detail. And again, I'm no grading instructor, just showing off some cool coins. This one, obviously much more worn, going to be a 1903S, but, we see, I'm thinking like, maybe really high VF when I see it, but that does have nice detail. So either VF 35 or I don't know if it would quite make it to XF. Let's look back at this one. I mean, maybe it's similar wear, but I feel like this has a little more luster. I would probably go with my gut feeling and say like VF 35, XF 40. Keep on getting like one off, except the one where I got a huge amount off. But Okay, I mean, fair. Maybe, there's more to it. It has a very attractive, good eye appeal. So really neat. And then our last coin of today is going to be another S-Mint dime. I think going off of the one that we just graded, like, then there is a little break in the Liberty, but it still has a very similar appearance to this one. So I'm gonna go with what I graded the last one and call it a VF35, just because it doesn't have what I would think of the luster, and then like having that little wear in the Liberty, in that lettering, to me makes it probably not enough for XF, but still I think a better date coin. And a 35. Maybe is that the only coin that I properly graded in today's video? It definitely might be, which goes to show how much of a beginner I am. But now I'm also curious to see, because I think that we had a few flips here, and that is the case. So I think some of these came out of albums. So the first one was a PCGS Mint State 66, this 97. So that's going to, I guess, cross and be right on. Let's see what else we had. We had a 1920S, which here is NGC AU58, which I really like. And then over here, though, it used to be in an NGC AU55. So a little bit of a difference there. And then it looks like we've got one more coin. No, I'm seeing the... yeah, I think we have one more coin here. Okay, 1917D. Used to be an AU53 coin. And here it's AU50. So, okay, so that makes me feel a little bit better about me calling it AU55, I want to say, and then it was way lower. But anyways, really fun to go through this stuff, and I always try to mix in some grading videos, and these are a lot better than the average stuff that I get to deal with. So really fun to do this with you today, and I'll hope to see you on some similar videos. I'm going to try to get in a few more when I can after hours here down at Heritage. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to Treasure Town, and get in touch with me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, check out my website, treasuretowncoins.com, for news and updates related to the channel and collectibles in general. Lastly, there's a link tree in the description with links to all of my other sites, as well as some affiliate links that can support the channel. But with that being said, have a great day, and I'll hope to see you on some of my videos in the future.